Anaconda. Spectacular visuals, a gripping storyline, a thrill ride of a chase film from beginning to end with a broad, diverse, talented cast. I'm taking the piss. That was by far the worst film of 2025 that I've seen. And there's been some shit this year. It was absolutely fucking diabolical, an absolute shit show. Excuse my language. But, I mean, you're probably thinking, well, what did you expect? Are you really that surprised? No, I'm not, because, of course, Jack Black, if anything that Jack Black is in, is either, like, wacky and fun or an absolute disgrace. This was the latter. It was genuinely... I tell you what, if there was a camera, if someone was filming me throughout that, the film I just watched, oh my God. Yeah, I probably would have won awards for, like, disgusted, exasperated, and sickened facial expressions. You should have seen at one point the dialogue and the action that was taking place in front of me. Oh my God, I made a face that I don't think I've ever made during a film before. Good God, what a shit show. Do you know what? I don't even know the characters' names. I really wasn't interested. Jack Black's character, growing up as a boy, was into filmmaking with his best mate, played by Paul Rudd, and the female. They're all a bunch of classmates, whatever. They let it go over the years. Jack Black's the only one who gets into, like, you know, sort of a half-assed sort of filming job for wedding videos or something. Anyway, whatever. They come together as adults and decide to go abroad and reboot Anaconda, which I've never actually seen. You probably sigh, but I've never actually seen Anaconda. Is it the well, yes, it is the J-Lo. Right, fast forward if you don't want a massive spoiler. J-Lo turns up at the end. I'll tell you what, that was one of the things I was really actually anticipating and looking forward to if it was to transpire. And yeah, it did. J-Lo appears right at the end on Jack Black's doorstep, and I was genuinely, that was the only part of the film I enjoyed. So anyway, they go abroad. Jack Black's wife, obviously, instead of being a a rational human being, sits down with him one night and is like, you know what? I think you should follow in the footsteps of your batshit crazy friend played by Paul Rudd. You know, go abroad with absolutely no money and make an absolute shit show that no one's going to watch. You know, follow your dream, that kind of thing. Instead of being like the wife who you know says, pull yourself fucking together, she sends him off on a journey into the Amazon or whatever it was. Again, I really wasn't interested where the set was, where it was, where the story took place. It was horrible. It was just fucking diabolical. Right, so yeah, growing up, they're into filmmaking. As adults, they come together again and go overseas with two of the most blandest, I would say characters, but in real life, two of the blandest actors I've ever seen in film. Oh my God, they're dried up like, oh God, they're drier than rich tea biscuits. They're just like, again, don't care what their names are, the female and the male with the moustache. There's nothing striking about them. Like, awful performances. I mean, they managed to turn on the waterworks. One of them starts crying at one point. Big deal. Yeah, they're not great as a backup cast. So, yeah. Oh, shit. Right, okay, 4 minutes in, and all you've got is a shitstorm. Sorry. But this is... I don't know who commissioned this or why they even wanted to do it. But please steer well clear. Avoid Anaconda 2025 at all costs. It's an absolute mockery of the original movie. Again, I've not seen it, Ice Cube and J-Lo. But I can imagine that the producers, the directors, and J-Lo and Ice Cube themselves are sorely offended at this. So, what was... Oh, hang on a second. The Anaconda... Yeah, no, I was going to say... Right, so, okay, right, let me throw a positive at you. Hooray, you might say. So the positive is the CGI used for the snake himself, or herself, themself, excellent. You know, it's massive, it's slimy, like, you know, fangous. That's my new word, obviously, for has massive juicy fangs. So the CGI used for the snake itself, brilliant. But here we go, spiralling to another negative. It barely appears. It's only towards the end of the film that the anaconda actually makes turns up. So not only is this a poorly written, but like appallingly written. I'm so like exasperated I can barely speak. Badly written, just immaturely performed. It's non-existent of any sort of substance, feeling. There's no empathy. I didn't empathise with any of the characters. I didn't give a shit what happened to any of them at all. So not only is it all that, gift wrapped with a shitstorm bow on top, but it's the snake, the titular character doesn't show up, or you see bits of it throughout, but it's basically a background extra who just jumps in and out. It's so shit. Oh my god. Right, so this isn't good. And I would honestly I would urge all of you out there to avoid at all costs. Right, is there anything? J-Lo appearing at the end. Gosh, she hasn't aged a day, has she? I love J-Lo. And Ice Cube. He turns up. I went to the toilet halfway through. Normally, I mind going to the toilet. This, up and out, straight away. Didn't care. But yeah, when I came back from peeing. I was going to say, there's a bit in this film. Oh, God. Right, yeah, so when I came back from peeing, Ice Cube popped up. And I was like, oh, there he is. Right. There's a bit during Anaconda where it's completely so random. Honestly, they were really clutching at straws for funnies. Funny. Absolute, like the biggest inverted commas ever. Because there's a part where they're pegging it through the jungle and Jack Black's character, he gets bitten by a tarantula or something. And there's this whole literally for the next few minutes, there's this whole thing of I need you to piss on me. I need someone to piss on me. Oh my God, piss on me. And so they make this whole animated meal of him desperately needing someone to whiz on him. It then turns out that the guy with the moustache, again, don't care what his name is, whatever, he does it. But because he's peeing in public phobic, it takes him ages to do it. When he does eventually pee on Jack Black's character, there's this whole celebration. Sorry, I'm gonna have to keep my. I'm fucking exasperated. This whole celebration, yeah, slow-mo, punch in the air, fanfares going off. Oh my God. So basically, this is genuinely legit one of those films where there's no substance, it's not funny, everything is just thrown at the screen and gone shit splat with the hope that obviously people like it, and it genuinely fell flat on its arse. I'm going to have to watch the original Anaconda to try and make up and compensate for this, because this was an absolute shit show, genuinely. Apart from J-Lo, obviously, turning up at the end. Right. Have I got enough out? Oh God, it was between this and SpongeBob, and I wish I watched SpongeBob. Shit. Right, okay. That's it. I think that's all I can stomach. I can't talk about this film anymore. Jack Black, by the way, he looks hideous in this. I don't know. That didn't really help either. But yeah, the dialogue and the gags they tried to pull were just so mediocre. They were just immature and ill-timed. They were just... Oh, no. This is, I'm trying to think of other movies now that I can use in reference, but yeah, no, I can't. Anyway, those two though, the backup, I call them backup, they were main characters, but I'd never seen them before. They didn't add anything. There was no diversity. There was there's no distinguishing sort of features. Nothing they did was stand out funny. It was terrible. I was actually thinking seriously throughout Anaconda that this is a kind of film where, well, they use the word shit a hell of a lot, because that's all the furthest they can go. I think it's a PG. But this is the kind of film for fucking, that you'd sit, toddlers down in front of. Well, not at all. But do you know what? It's that kind of humour. It's really dumb humour. It's so stupid. I don't know why they felt the need to do this. And if there is an Anaconda reboot that J-Lo mentions at the end, oh, fuck me. This definitely really was an insulting sort of build-up and leader. So, yeah. Right. Is that it? I think that's it. Fucking hell. Right, okay, I'm going to have to end this here. So, yeah. Avoid at all costs. The casting, the dialogue's not funny. The action's just pathetic. You know those scenes in films where it just sort of jumps from one to another? All of a sudden, they're sitting in someone's office going, yes, let's make a film. The next, they're on the boat and already on their way to bloody Brazil or wherever it is. It's like nothing, the scene transitions are absolutely, like, they're as appalling as the writer, as the script. So yeah, steer well clear. I'm going to have to end this here because I refuse to talk about Anaconda anymore. And if you had any sense, and were careful with your money as well, do not spend a cent on this film. It's terrible. It's an absolute shit show from start to finish.